never stop learning because life never stops teaching. Today, I'm going to be speaking about exam pressure, a few tips on how to study better, and mostly about how to balance studies and extra activities. Now, we all must have felt scared or nervous for our exam. Well, at least I usually am. We all must have felt pressurized and felt like giving up. Well, don't worry, I'm here to help you. Here are a few tips on how to study better. Number 1, I keep all electronics and distractions away. This helps me focus better. Number 2, I set a target and a certain time to achieve that target. This helps me a lot. I eat a healthy diet and get a good night's rest before the exam. This makes sure I'm fresh to write the exam. Now, I don't want to bore you about tips. As I said, I'm going to be speaking about how I balance studies and extra activities. So, I usually do pretty well in my exams. That is, I get more than 90%. And I'm also involved in a lot of co-curricular activities. Just last year, the school gave me an amazing opportunity to speak at the Radio Mirchi FM station. Yes, that was the best experience. I also anchored for the Sports Day celebration in our school. I went for an inter-school competition in dance last year and I was overjoyed when we got second place. I have been learning Bharatnatyam for the past 7 years and my teacher organizes several programs. I'm currently practicing for a performance in Angkor Wat, Cambodia. I'm also in the Gold Squad school team in table tennis. When it comes to extra activities, I only participate in activities that I'm very passionate about, like speech, dance, and drama. That way, it is a good break and a lot of fun to practice and doesn't feel like work at all. So what are you passionate about? It could be speech, dance, drama, music, arts, gymnastics, robotics, sports. Yes, that's lovely. So, find out what you're passionate about and improve on it by going for classes and working hard. Coming back to exams, here are a few general tips on how I manage my anxiety during exams. First, I try to make a timetable or a schedule for the exam preparations on a daily basis. It is not just good to study during the exams. I study pretty regularly so that it would be easier during the exams. It requires a lot of discipline to follow certain timetables or schedules. When I was in the lower grades, like grade 3, 4, and 5, I never understood what discipline was, and that sometimes affected my behavior and marks. But when I came to 6th grade, I understood what discipline was and how to incorporate that in my daily life. Now, I'm going to be talking in more detail about how I manage my daily schedule. So, I wake up in the morning at around 7 a.m. every day. I like to eat a healthy breakfast like eggs and bread in the morning because we all know that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. At school, I focus on what the teacher is teaching so that the exam revision would be easier as I would have already understood the concepts in class. For me, my weaker subject is probably maths. I find it very difficult, so I come back home and practice maths every day. I practice what was taught that day and what is to be taught the next day. That way, when the teacher is teaching in class, it would be just like a revision. Before I start my maths paper, I get really stressed and anxious. So, I take a few deep breaths to calm myself down. For me, physical exercise is also important. So, I play for at least 45 minutes to 1 hour every day. I come back home and eat a nice dinner and I like to drink a glass of milk before going to bed. I practice dance at least thrice a week. The days I practice dance, I study only for 45 minutes and I like to practice dance in the weekends so I would have enough study time. I hope my tips today will help you in realizing your passion and also preparing for exams without anxiety. Thank you.